Hello everyone, welcome to a new video on the channel. Today we are doing the quarter one flip through of my reading journal of 2024. We're going to look at all the pages. I think I skipped one, yes we did. And I'm going to be talking about how this journal is working or not working for me as we go through. So let's just start flipping pages. First page up, I'm just going to bring you in a little closer. This book is a little bit big, so I find it challenging to get in close to the detail. But we have the Goodreads challenge on the left here, and we have a little social media growth section on the right. So my goal for 2024 is to read 150 books. I did end up putting down 165, and I'm very grateful that I have a few more rows here because I am already well past my initial thought for this year. I've actually completed another few books. I'm just showing you from March onward, from January to March only, and then I can finally fill this in for April. But I have so far got 56 books read already over 2024, which is a huge amount of books compared to last year. I think I didn't hit 50 something books until May, so I'm definitely ahead of my own goals, and hopefully I can fit all of the books in here and I don't exceed it by too much, but I can always add in a tip in if I have to. Because I didn't think that I would need a lot of room, I did end up putting in this social media growth section. I try really hard not to focus on numbers and growth periods and how to improve my followers, but I would be lying if I didn't represent it in some way. Like, I do care enough about these, otherwise I wouldn't be tracking them in this journal. So it's just an easy place for me. On the start of every month I write down the numbers of my follower count on either Instagram and YouTube, and these numbers don't really affect me every day, but I do like tracking them, if that makes sense. I am being very wary about this topic because I do know that some people are very much so, don't worry about your numbers, just about your enjoyment. But we do put a lot of effort into these things, and showing, numbers do show some of our rewarding success, I guess. I hate saying it like that though, but I hope you understand what I mean. It's just a tracking thing for stats. It's not like I'm betting my entire life on this. Moving on to something a lot more brighter, and we have the bookshelfie. Though it's not very bright this year, I went with a very classical darker palette for 2024 for my star ratings. But here we are with all 56 books on the page on the left here. I'm really happy with the way it's going. There is a lot of green, but I'm also very thrilled to see a lot of blue, which is 5 stars, and even purple, which is 4.5 stars, and green is 4 stars. And if you're new here, 4 stars tends to be my most used rating for books. It's just something that I learned over the last couple of years of tracking stats. But yeah, really happy with how this is all getting put down on the page. I do sometimes struggle with my white pen. I'm using a 0.8 size jelly roll. Let me see if I've grabbed the right one. Yeah, this one here. And I find that with the thinner tip, it tends to not come out as opaque, and it sort of runs differently on the page than if I use the 1mm tip or the 10, which is obviously these little gold colours for the headers. Okay, I think I'm okay to start continuing with this. One thing I have noticed, that filming these types of videos is a little bit more challenging now. So yes, these little gold headers are done with a 1mm tip, and they just represent each month. I was initially going through and writing Jan across the entire top of or side of each book. As you can see, by the time I got to this third shelf I just gave up entirely with that, and I don't feel like I need it because I can see where each month starts very easily with the gold. Putting this pen away, and we can move on. I do have enough space. I think I have 180 spaces on the bookshelf, so hopefully I won't need a tip in, but again, we'll figure that out when we get further in. This page here has been interesting for me. So in the last couple of years I've only done the book amount pixel. I've never tracked format before, but I decided to this year. I wanted to see sort of, do I read a lot more of one style of format or source, or do I tend to stick to a variety of them? And so this one has been a little bit more challenging to set up, and I do have to add another box to the key on this side because I have added in a little bit of red here, and I think for April I will have one as well. I'm not sure, but essentially the red represents when I read all three formats, so physical, ebook and audiobook. I had mixed down because obviously there's some days where I do read a book, like I just finished Powerless by listening to the audiobook on 3 times speed whilst reading it in front of me, and I need a way to represent that in my stats, but hardly ever do I use that little grey colour. Tend to just read one format for each book. I am really happy with how the book amount page is coming together. I'm starting to see little trends beginning, but I think it's too early to really like class them as a trend to watch out. But I do love it when I can see consistently on what days I'm reading at least one book, or you know, on the days, it seems like on the 11th of every month so far I've read 2 books, which pretty much lines up with the fact that that's when book club tends to lap over. However, in saying that, this was the only month that I did book club in April, so these are all done before book club, so we'll see how that works when we actually get to doing April's pixel. Flipping over, I'm really excited to see that 2 of the challenges that I have for the year are working extremely well. I have the Read the Rainbow challenge on the side here, and last year I did it all with romance books. This year, well, I think there was 1 fantasy, but this year I'm doing just fantasy, so that is why I have still got some colours left. And I have read some books that have black in it, but I'm trying to find one that's got a lot more black on the cover, which is really challenging to find, but I'm sure I'll come across one at some point. My 2024 tropes list, instead of doing 24 books before 2020 in 2024, I decided to do just 24 tropes and see where I could find them in books, and I am finding this really easy to fill in. I've only got a handful left, and I'm actually pretty sure I've finished some of these already, but I just didn't feel like the books screamed that trope, so I didn't use it. There are some books that I wish that I hadn't have used, because then I'd read a book afterwards that would have been more perfect for it, but this isn't a game of trying to use the best book for the trope. It's more so a game of, you know, finishing it. I'm going to write down the completion date on both of these lists when I reach that point as well. The reading bingo and the buzzwordathon pages, well, these are just all challenges. So on the reading bingo side, I have hit quite a few of them up, but I do feel like there's a lot there that I won't probably finish. So I mean, we're at a good point right now. We're only 1/3 into the year. There's still 3 more thirds, so did I say 1/3? I meant 1/4. Through. We've got 3 more quarters left, so yeah, we've definitely got some time to figure out. But things like book turned to TV show and book turned movie, I'm probably not going to read a book for either of those because I don't really enjoy adaptations very much. But this was a bingo board done by Jashi Corin. I'll link it in the description below. And then I am taking part in 2 year-long readathons, kind of. Well, this isn't really a readathon, but I'll talk about it in a minute. But I am doing the buzzwordathon, and I have completed all 3 prompts so far. Very happy with how this is going. The Kindle takedown, I had every intention of being really proactive with, but I have also had a really bad habit of applying for ARCs and then just reading other books and then not having time to do the Kindle takedown. So I didn't do anything in March. I have managed to read one. Actually, I've finished two, but yeah, I can actually write down that I finished that one that I have for current in March. So but the one that I drew for March I haven't read, so I'm going to read it this month. I didn't actually end up drawing one for April because of that. We'll see if I can get some more books off the Kindle takedown. Essentially this is just emptying out my Kindle that's got a lot of books on it that are unread that I've gotten from those Stuff Your Kindle days. Now, one side is working really well and the other side is not. This page here I'm really enjoying seeing the aesthetics come together. All three themes are now on the page, and at the end of April I'll add this month's theme on, which is the Adventures of 𝓛𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼. We're on the 𝓬𝓱𝓮𝓷𝓼, sorry, and so that will be added here. The book club reads is not going well. One, I've not really joined book club very well over the last few months. I didn't end up reading January's read until February, because that's when it came in for one book club, and then this one I DNF'd. For February I ended up reading the one for January, and I didn't do the one for the other book club I belong to, and then last month I did complete the one for this book club, but I didn't read the one for this. So it's just, I'm not sure how to track it at the minute. I'm not happy with the layout, but I'm sure I'll figure it out when I actually give it some time. I did read for one book club again this month, so it is interesting to see where I'm swapping and changing, so perhaps I should mark that down so I can see the stats of it. This page here I won't be filling in until the end of the year, and we're straight into January. I'm really happy with the setup for this year, but we are forgetting this section right here because we learnt very quickly I can't draw. So you'll find that for the rest of the year I will be doing collages here, and you won't have to put up with this pitiful attempt of me drawing the parapet for Fourth Wing. So the first theme of the year was Fourth Wing related. We went to Basquiat War College. I know that some people pronounce it as Basquiat, and I've actually had someone say to me that I'm saying it wrong. I'm just pronouncing it a bit more like the Welsh way that it's actually meant to be pronounced. Moving on to the monthly view. I am not doing this monthly view way of tracking anymore. I've changed it a little bit. I'm not sure if I want to go back to this or not, because I have got myself for 2024 a little planner for my planner. Sounds very counterproductive, but I'm really enjoying using this essentially every day when I'm reading. I will just jot down what I've read in the same format as I have here. And this way I can look at it and see so much more. This has been really helpful to me, and I'm really enjoying it. So I didn't see the point in doing it twice. So you'll see what I've done for February and March, but sorry, for March. I think I continued it in February. Anyway, we'll get to that. Really liked this theme. It was very simple. I did do this TBR-a-thon, readathon in January, and it's so nice to look at. I had so much fun putting this together, and I missed only 3 books, so I think that was a huge win. I didn't really use this portion of it, but it was fun to set up. Having a little bit of a Dutch door meant that I had to change the layout of some things, and it was a nice experiment. I also enjoyed having the change to my reading log in this year, and I have kept this format pretty much the entire way through. I think it's the same every time, so yeah, I'm really enjoying that. And my new change to the stats page has been working out very well, and I've been keeping on with this as well. I will be going back through off camera and changing these stickers because they don't do very well with the pens, and so I'm going to use my stamp from the Quirky Cup Collective set that I use and religiously throughout everywhere else, which is this stamp here. Just run along the sides, but I have to redo it because the colours don't look correct. being very nitpicky about my journal at times. Flipping into February, you will find that things will be pretty much the same formats throughout the year, but this theme was Alfheim from Folk of the Air series, and I really enjoyed setting this one up. I had a good time with all the colours. Again, I took part in another readathon here, but I didn't utilise this page as much as I thought, and I thought I'd be putting covers on the top of here, and I never ended up doing that, so maybe I'll do that off camera one day. Very happy with everything else. I did try a vertical layout for this side and I enjoyed it, but I found that I didn't enjoy it enough to stick to it. I did add in a new page because of not having enough room for all my other information, so I did end up putting my reading log off to just one page because I'm not prepared to waste a page. So I did like this layout a lot, and I did enjoy the fact that I was able to fit February's 18 books within this 2-page spread and this one, and I feel like this one is more aesthetic to look at. I really enjoy this one. And again, stats page very much the same, just need to fix those stickers. Here we are with the last month in this journal to share, and it is the 𝓤𝓲𝓷𝓫 theme. Again, really like this. First time using the Cricut to make headers in this journal, which I had a fun time with, and this is my new layout. I have changed it a little bit again in April, but I am tracking sort of when I read each book and then writing it down here instead of the percentage in each box. Still need to tweak it a little bit, but I am enjoying seeing this a bit more as a visual than just information based, since I have that little journal. Same thing on the side, and the same setup on this side here as the others. And then I did the Realmathon, but this page was a bust for me. I did refer to it when I was playing the game, but I didn't actually have anywhere to put down my stats, so I thought only you could use one prompt once, but turns out you could use them over and over. So this page kind of didn't really work out for me, and then I found this to be really blank looking, so I didn't use this vertical format for April. I did, however, have the same layout as February for both this side and starting the reading log, and again really liking that I was able to fit them onto 2 pages, this page and this page like I did, and I didn't have to do another page at any point. Stats page is slightly different this month. I ended up putting a quote down the bottom to fill in the gap because I didn't use any decorative paper for this theme. I did use washi tape instead, and I am quite happy with it. I did end up using the stamps for this one, so really thrilled with how this is looking. So that is the first quarter in this journal. Here is this month's theme, but I won't get into that until next quarter flip through. I do have some stuff at the back, but it is very out of date because I keep forgetting that it's here. So I am taking part in the 𝓛𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼 Year of Choices adventure, and I need to go through and write down, since I haven't done from January, but I have completed all the prompts, and I'm also participating this month in the readathon, so I thought it would be best to put it in the back here where I could put my character for this and all that together. So I need to do that, so I might make a video of that. And then I'm also thinking about putting some stats at the back here instead. So I have a lot of pages left and I don't think I'm going to need all of them, so I think I can fit more into this journal than I have with others, so I might as well use it, but I'm still waiting for feedback on that. So that is that journal. And then on this journal here is my reading data journal. I've had it for the last 2 years as well. Or was it just last year I used it? No, it was just last year, sorry. And I decided that I would continue it because I had, again, lots of pages left. It is a cheaper journal, and it does come with its pros and cons. So I didn't want to reset things up, so that worked out really well for me in some ways. So this page obviously is for 2023, so I don't use it. And this I'm not using anymore because I set up a new one for 2024. I do, however, have my reread section that I'm still using here, and my arc section I just marked it off with the little piece of paper that represented 2024's colour, which is green. and then I've still got pages left. So it was kind of like, well, I've already set it up, I might as well use it and not waste paper. So again, with the tracker, green is the colour for 2024. So you can see that I've added some things in here, and I have added some new series from here onwards. So I'm still using it. I am a bit weary that I'm going to run out of paper, but we'll just see how we go. And on TBR, I ended up forgetting this page and just again putting a 2024 marker and rewriting it all out with all the books that I kept, because I did unhaul quite a few, and as you can see, I've kept up with it. I'm really happy with how it's going so far, and I still have a few more pages left. Here is last year's stats, so we'll just flip through them really quickly, but I will point out this looks so nice, and I'm pointing that out for a reason. I didn't end up finishing my year of stats, end of year stats, but I do have my book bracket from last year in here. And then here is 2024, the divider for it. Here is my DNFs list. And here is my 2024 at a glance. So I'm not really enjoying this one as much, simply because the colours for this year are very dark. And this paper, I don't know if you can see, but it is very cheap, so it soaks up the colours very differently, and the paper's having a bit of a struggle with it, so with the colours. So I'm not sure if I want to continue on using this journal. Like I said, I've got lots of paper space in here. I think I might go through and map out how many pages I use each month roughly, and then see how many pages I have left, because I'm using less pages in this one now that the pages are bigger, because I can fit more information on them than I would in just something this size. So it is a bit, I feel a bit like disjointed this year, because I only have so far this page and this page that is specifically for 2024, and whilst I do have these like little trackers at the start here, and I will be continuing with those, I'm not sure if I want to continue with my 24 stats in here. So if you've got any feedback that you can give me on that, let me know. What do you think? Should I put it all in one book, or should I just continue on with this, because that was the whole point of this journal? And like I said, I've got lots of pages left. I can still stick them all together. If they get a bit dirty with the not dirty, sorry, if they bleed through, because the paper is quite thin, you can see the ghosting of that page, so I'll most likely end up gluing this page together like I have the others. And I'm already set up, so I don't know, I'm in two minds. It's not the worst thing to look at, but it is not as aesthetically pleasing to me, and that's half the point of this page, is like that. I just love this page. Not huge on this one. Very first world problem to have though. And that is the Q1 flip through of my journals. I don't think there needs to be a flip through of this little guy, because he's just very bare bones, like, you know, messy. Don't have to worry about what it looks like. It still has a color code, but apart from that it works just fine as being messy. But that is my journal lineup. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I'm hopeful that when we go to do the mid-year flip through, that it will be a lot more colourful and really interesting to look at. And until we next meet, I hope you have fun reading or journaling, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone.